Presidente speechifying to an empty wall. And just automatically fills up with workers, and they'll just start planting crops. There's a lot of smart automation in this
What
game.
matter requires
The things
Presidente's
that you
attention?
shouldn't have to manage, you don't, and the things that you should be managing, you do. This game is oriented around tasks and missions much more than the third one, or... I don't know about the first two, I never played them. I hear they weren't even like 3D to begin with, which is pretty wild. I guess this series has been around a while. I mean, I've heard of Tropico, but before checking it out a while ago, I didn't know much about it. Still don't know much if you ask, like, an expert of the game. I'm probably doing things wrong. 2 farms.
Well done, Presidente. The farms are ready and will soon begin growing food for your citizens.
Yep, the farms need time to grow food, but we'll be fine. 1 farm per 50 citizens, that's roughly the rule. And people don't eat cash crops. Oh ho! And you'll see a little mission thing right there. Missions will typically pop up in areas where they're relevant, or if they don't have a place to go, they'll just pop up at your palace. So let's... There we go.
Presidente, my name is Antonio Lopez, and I lobby on behalf of the capitalist faction.
Hello, Antonio. I have grown to like all the characters that represent the different factions, though. Not sure what this button means. Alright, export 500 Baki. I suggest you build tobacco farms. Otherwise, this mission won't go so well. Exporting happens naturally. They'll harvest the crop, they'll get it to the port. They'll do all that thing. Okay, let's look at here. There's fertile tobacco lands. You always want to plant them where they're green. There's some fertile... the hill is too steep right here. It's not going to let me construct in the most fertile Baki lands. So the closest place would be up here. It's a little out of the way, but it should be okay. And you can go into debt as a country, but the foreign powers kind of try to discourage you from doing that. Road construction, very important, found under infrastructure. The roads in this game are part of what makes Tropico look a bit more realistic than a game like SimCity. I'm not trying to shit on SimCity here, I naturally compared them on mine. I'm sure there's more accurate comparisons to be made, but like... The way... It always struck me that Tropico looks a bit more realistic, which is weird considering it's a very surreal glimpse into people. I've lost Presidente. Getting Presidente over to yell at construction workers is actually a pretty nice way to speed things along. If you don't give Presidente orders, he'll just wander
Presidente,
around.
I am Reverend Esteban, and I speak for the faithful citizens of this island.
Hello, Reverend. 10,000 to help us build a church, and to hire priests. That's under welfare and economy. I don't know. Take it up with the developers. Religion is pretty important to people, or so I'm told. Placing a church is important. Right here should do middle of town. We'll get to that eventually if you don't know. Notice how you can build over these, but you can't build over regular buildings? We'll get to that. But I'm rotating the building on my mouse wheel. You build it, that's 6,000. But the thing is, that's not the end of the story. This building requires high school educated people to work. And we don't have an overabundance of those people. So what you can do is you click here. You can right click and disable the slot. You can fire people, you can boss them around. You can hire foreign specialists, and you're going to be doing that a lot in the early game to set up Tropico. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that for all 4 slots. Since it's only high school educated, you can get them relatively cheap. When you need college graduates, that's when things... And workers you hire will arrive on the next freighter. Sorry for bringing up the build menu so often, And you can check at the dock, well, a whole bunch of stuff. Anything you export, your imports, your dock workers, and when a freighter is going to approach. our beautiful Tropican island. If the game doesn't look as good as it does for other people, I wouldn't say blame the game, I would say blame my machine. Okay, Presidente, where are you? At least I put him in white, so
What
he's
matter requires
looks like he's
Presidente's
just
attention?
chilling out.
Time to check up on my people.
Okay, he's going for the limo first, so that means he won't... He knows, his AI knows that hoofing it, not as efficient. Also, set buildings to high priority to make sure that they get done. Getting done is important. People automatically go to the garage, which is a critically important building. Like, there's Presidente. You can tell because his car is black. The presidential limousine.
Violence broke out in Tropico as the army tried to remove Reverend Esteban from the pub and get him to start the first service in the new church. Several soldiers are missing, presumed drunk. The Reverend had this to say.
Give me another one. And make it a big one.
Notice that someone has already begun working here. Which, I don't know what happens to the fourth worker we paid for. We paid for him, so he's probably still going to arrive, and he'll try to find new work. And here comes the freighter. As soon as it puts into dock, the new immigrants that come on the freighter will be discharged. 1 foreign experts and 6 immigrants.
I'm not feeling well, Presidente.
Uh-oh.
There's some kind of a bug going around the island.
I think I need a doctor. There's 2 ways to improve healthcare. The first one is building legitimate healthcare facilities, which is obviously more recommended. Clinics, cheap. Small clinic provides healthcare. You do need college workers for it, though, which is... it's something. And I'll put it here. We now have priests. And up on the hillside, the farms have been built. Consider we are going in like 2x time right now. Also, the country is in debt. That's not something to worry about too much. Be aware of it.
Excelencia?
Buenas tardes.
There's got to be a button to select Presidente. I'm actually going to look. Because I'm professional like that. Select Avatar Backspace. Really?
Are you a rebel?
Interesting. No, Presidente.
Back to work again.
Actually, go ahead and bug the
It's
farmers.
always all work and no play for Presidente.
Sure it is, bro. Fishing competition.
How's it hanging, Presidente? Now that you have your very own island, how about a friendly wager?
I bet you can export 500 fish, and our reward is Swiss bank account money, which is... it's like your score. In fact, it is pretty much your score, and that also means that it doesn't matter at all. But you know, creating a fishing industry wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Fisherman's Wharf. They're not the cheapest buildings. And you can see the waters around the island, whether fishing is good or whether it's not so good. Because we get a lot of freighter traffic here, this isn't the best place to fish ever, but like if we put it here, that won't be in the path of the freighter. We lay that down.
I see you've run out of money, amigo.
Oh no. I know I was supposed to be like patronized or something, but I'll take the money. Always make sure everything is linked to roads. There are some buildings that literally have a road connection, like these arrows. That's a critical thing. Even if they don't link every building, like farms you can build without roads, but I really wouldn't recommend that. Just don't do it, man. Oh, notice a shack just appeared there. That's what these are, by the way, shacks. This is to show that the people on Tropico don't have actual housing. Like, for instance, let's go back into town and look at, this is a, actually, is there a single housing building on this godforsaken island? Well, now that a church is here, I guess it's not completely forsaken. Oh god, look at that. We're gonna get to housing eventually. And that's good because, man,
What matter
Gonna be bad.
requires Presidente's attention?
alright, let's get the wharf built. In fact, let's fast-track both of these. I could choose to quick build them. Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Foreign aid just came in, comes in January. the superpowers want to help you out. They want to turn you against each other because, well, it's kind of what they do. I'm going to lay down a third tobacco farm over here because, well, tobacco is a very profitable resource. Ship it around the world, let other people poison themselves, and we get money for it. It's a cold, pitiless alchemy. You know, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna send for a college graduate, just one, which cost more than all those high school graduates we recruited combined. He'll come on the first freighter after the clinic is complete. I usually don't like to go in regular speed. I usually do enjoy at least 2xing it. Also, your construction workers will frequently be the source of great disappointment and shame and dishonor. And your dock workers too. Make sure your construction workers and your dock workers are getting the job done. I can't fathom what all these guys are doing.
Excelencia?
Obviously, this individual is building the clinic. That's good. We're gonna need it.
What matter requires Presidente?
Where's Presidente? Go ahead and help at the clinic, I guess, since you're there, Presidente. Fascinating. I just love watching the little people at work. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that person just stopped building the clinic. Well, if you guys don't want healthcare... Oh, man.
Presidente, we need doctors to improve healthcare on the island.
I don't know about this. 4 doctors is a lot. That would mean a second clinic. That would mean college workers. That means a lot of money. You know what? I'd rather put that money towards housing when we get that objective. I could do it now, but most people aren't riding in the streets. There's no housing. People just live in these really... Shacks are like... If there's shacks like this all over, it's kind of like cancerous growth. It's something you really need to stop. They're not going to get it done, which means the skilled worker isn't going to get here on this boat. Tropican construction workers, everybody. Oh no, they did get there. Alright, clinic is now fully staffed and servicing a homeless person. Good. Never let it be said
What do you
that
want?
Presidente was
I'm
not
busy
generous toward
ruling.
the homeless. Matter of fact, I'm going to build 2 fishing wharves just to get that done. Also to provide for people. You gotta get it just so. I didn't look if we actually exported anything that time. That'd probably be an important thing to notice. No exports on board. Well, the tobacco has to grow. That takes a while. Plus, the mission would say if we'd exported any. They're working on it. They're growing their fields of tobacco.
Muy buena.
And walking back down the hill. I'm not gonna do anything that the tutorial doesn't tell me to do, really, because this is the first mission, but... You know, we're just gonna ease into Tropico. I suppose there had to be one more college-educated person on this island. Healthcare will improve over time.
I'm not feeling...
Finances...
Presidente, my name...
Where's my construction workers? Okay, no workers here. It'll get workers, don't worry. I saw unemployed people. And pretty much anyone can do a fisherman's job. In this game, I'm not saying... I saw the icon for an unemployed person in the... Yeah, this person's unemployed. And originally from France. And homeless. What, did they go to the clinic right off the boat? Yeah, we're having a people shortage here, which, that'll happen. Means building that farm probably isn't going to help either.